Hey everybody, DCT here with your live call-in. I know I just did a live stream about, I'd say about 2 hours ago, something like that. But, I just want to do a call-in, check in with you guys. So, I'm hoping the lighting's good. Actually, I'm checking that right now. Alright? Because I'm trying to make everything top quality for you guys, as I have talked yet to another cowboy. So, let's talk a little bit about some of the news, what's going on with Cowboys, and basically us cutting to create some cap room. Benson Mayowa. Yeah, that's what's on the thumbnail. Benson Mayowa. Of course, you would have a call right before I go to bed. Man, I'm sorry. Man, but I just decided to do this. So everything looks good, alright? So, I do want... What's up, bro? Hey, how you doing? How's everybody doing tonight? I'm just doing a quick call-in, in case you guys want to know, but I'm just doing this to mainly get some information out there. So, Benson Mayowa, he's a defensive end. Alright, he just got cut, basically. So, that released $2.75 million in our cap room. So, we're under the cap, which is good. Alright, we have around $1 million, I'd say, to sign an offensive lineman, Demario Davis, and Richard Sherman. Or 3 equal players. So, basically who I want, Richard Sherman, he's basically getting cut. He basically just said that he's gonna get cut. And Seattle, well, they got rid of Bennett there, so. I think he's good, Bennett, Michael Bennett, I think is his name, or something Bennett. I think he's good, but not great. My guy, Demario Davis, he's a linebacker. 6'2", 247 pounds, 97 tackles this year, period. The writing on the wall with, yeah. Alright, so let me actually go and try and find this through here. Oh boy, where is it where I talked about cap room? Alright, so if we cut Bryce Butler, what was that? What? So, Sherman said that well, basically, Seattle, they're cutting everybody. They're getting rid of everybody. Rich Sherman, he's pretty much paving the way. Alright? He didn't exactly say that he's gonna get cut, but he's pretty much paving the way for him to get cut. Last year, as we all know, he said that he might go Dallas last year. So, if we cut Bryce Butler, Orlando Scandrick, Alfred Morris right now, that would save around $10 million around for the cap room. Okay, now, let's restructure Travis Frederick's contract, which would create over $2 million in our cap room. I'm not a fan of restructuring contracts, but it gets the job done. Alright? So that would leave us around $13 million at a minimum. So let's just keep going. James Hanna get cut. Well, you know what? That would create around I'd say $13 million. Alright. Now let's restructure, let's give Dez Bryant a pay cut and restructure Tyron Smith. Oh shoot. And, nope, still not fixed. Guys, let's not restructure Tyron's health issues. Yeah, that's true. So let's give Dez Bryant that pay cut that we've all been talking about. Or Sean Lee, yeah, that's true. Health issues are a big thing. I don't know why it just froze up like that, guys, but you know what, it did. I'm sorry, nothing I can do about it. In fact, I'm getting the internet speed updated. That way, this will be top notch for you guys. So, if we give Des Bryant that pay cut, we would have around, not exactly, but roughly around 18 million, 20 million in the cap room. And signing DeMario Davis, re-signing David Irvin and Richard Sherman, that would take up almost to over $15 million in the cap. So we'd still have around $3 million, I'd say, to spare. So now let's talk a little bit about the draft. Who do I want? Vita Vea, Darwin James, or Roquan Smith? Probably not going to happen, but you know what? Anything's possible. So Vita Vea, 6'5", 340, 99 total tackles. So not great on that, but pretty good. 9.5 sacks. That's where it gets good. 15 tackles for loss and 2 forced fumbles. That's pretty good. Roquan Smith. Probably won't happen, but you know what? It's football. Anything can happen. Especially with the Browns having 2 picks in the top 5. You have 2 picks in the top 5. They're going to get Saquon Barkley, and I'm praying to the football god, please give us Vita Vea, because let me tell you, Seattle, your Legion of Boom is doomed. Dallas is the Legion of Boom now. If we get Vita Vea, the Legion of Boom 2.0. How great would that be? So, Roquan Smith, he's 6'1", 225 pounds, and 252 total tackles. That is pretty good. With 20.5 tackles for loss, 3 forced fumbles, 6.5 sacks. That's where it gets a little worse than Vita Vea. 6.5. But you gotta compare 1 more forced fumble and 5.5 more tackles for losses. So, you know, it all adds up. What was that? Legion of Boom is doomed. Well, you know what? If you think about it, they are. Martellus Bennett, gone. Rich Sherman, last year, said, hey, I kind of want to play for Dallas, you know? And, someone by the name of Earl Thomas runs into the Cowboys locker room, basically dug his own grave in Seattle and said, if you got the chance to come get me, come get me. That just, yeah. So, him or Darwin James would be awesome. Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because Darwin James, my 3rd draft prospect. He's 6'3", 211 pounds, 186 total tackles. As much as I like James, we need a safety that can serve. Yeah, that's true. And I actually just want to say this. So, everybody isn't going crazy over this all over Instagram. No one's going crazy on it, but one that makes plays on the ball, like Richard Sherman or Earl Thomas. You know, I'd like both of those guys on Dallas. You know, that'd just be pretty good. Yeah. So, no one's going crazy over this on Instagram, but basically, someone told Bryce Butler in the comment section saying, please stay in Dallas. That way you can get traded to New York. That way you can shit all over the Cowboys when they play you for not re-signing you to a big deal and making you a starter. And he liked that comment. Well, my book, as soon as he liked that comment, really? You're this unloyal to your team. Get out of here. I don't want you in this Cowboy building anymore at all. You know what? I'd be down with it if he just said, yeah, you know, he wasn't coming back anyway. F. Bryce Butler, yeah. Yeah, you know, he, hey, how you doing, Cowboy X Factor? But yeah, Bryce Butler, DCT, let me call in. Yeah, sure, you can call in right now. I got the phone right here, so just, he had, ouch, Bryce Butler only had 6 snaps a game. Oof, that's not good. You know, he's got to up them numbers, boy. You know, I get where it's coming from, but you know what? No. He wants to be a starter. Those numbers need to improve. But especially his unloyalty to this team. You're gone, Bryce. And it would also save us some cap money. So, you know, Bryce Butler, you know, he's just gotta go. As much as I'd say, hey, I'll see you later. Peace out. As much as I like Bryce Butler, I wouldn't even say that. So, hey, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. So right now, I've basically been talking a lot about free agency, the draft, you know, and something Bryce Butler did on Instagram, basically saying that someone told him to come to New York, that way you can shit all over Dallas for not making you a starter. So,
you said he was going to go to New York?
someone wanted him to come, and he liked that comment, so, you know, anything's possible.
No, he read it or he liked it?
He liked that comment of someone saying that.
Okay.
So,
I'm just wondering if he means the Giants or the Jets, so I don't know who that's a fan of, but
it's,
those are totally two different teams, so I don't know which one he'd want to be a part of, but if he wants more of a number one-ish role, maybe probably the Jets, because they don't have much. I mean, the Giants, I think they already have some guys. They were just injured last year, so I don't know if him going to the Giants would be the best idea, because he would be stuck behind Odell unless the Giants move him, which I don't think they will do. And they have already Sterling Shepard, and they have Brandon Marshall, so I don't see how the Giants make sense. I think if he's going to New York, it has to be the Jets for me, because
right.
they have this guy, Robbie Anderson, who's good, but he has some off-field issues, and really, besides Jermaine Kearse, I don't think they would have much, but I think he might be a fit there, and besides, he wants to start, so I wouldn't be surprised if he goes there, but I'm going to be interested to see, even if he's not going to come back to the Cowboys, I'm sure about that, but I'm most likely he probably won't. I mean, there's a chance he could, but I don't think so, but I'm interested to see which team he goes to, though.
I would not like to see Bryce Butler back on the Cowboys. Would you
wouldn't like him back?
I would not like Bryce Butler. I mean, you know what? As much as it's just his unloyalty to the team. He said that someone said that he should go to New York just to crap all over Dallas. Well, you know what? Yeah, no. And everything that he's been saying, you know, crapping on Dez, he just has shown me that he's not loyal to our team, and you just gotta go.
I completely get you, but I think just some of it, I can't blame him for what he's doing with what the coaching staff has been doing, so
True.
I can't blame him for outbursting that, but I think that, yeah, he's probably not like you said.
Right. Now, if there was one guy I'd want in free agency, I don't know, are the Jets gonna step up and pay him? Probably not, because they haven't done anything, so... You know, if it would be my one pick, DeMario Davis. That's who I'd want in free agency.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it, but the thing is how much is it going to cost, and I'm gonna be interested to see what teams what he wants in a contract, or what teams want to pay him.
Right. Well,
but I know Mark Holmes likes him and stuff, but. But if we don't get him, maybe if we can hope, maybe Justin Martin Lillard can do something, but I don't know what he can bring. Maybe he stays. I don't know what's up with him, but maybe he can turn into something. But I would love DeMario Davis, especially if Hitchens leaves. I don't know how it makes sense if you have both like back, unless you want to be a backup. Or again, I think he's maybe looking to start probably.
Right, and here's my thing. Cap room. Well, you know what? We just released Benson Mayowa, who that saved us $2.75 million in the cap room. So That's
Some
good.
people say it's 3 point something, but I think it's about close to 2 or 3 million. So
Right.
it's varying from different sources from what I'm hearing, but it's about 2 to 3 million we save.
Right, which is pretty good, you know. I've never been a huge fan of Benson Mayowa, but if we could cut Byron Bell, well, if we could cut Tyrone Crawford and Orlando Scandrick right now, that I know it wouldn't be as good as a post June 1st cut, but you know what? It would give us some cap room for free agency, and you know what? I'd be a fan of that. And as Justin March Lillard said, we gotta sign someone on that offensive line. You can't go wrong with that and another stud. He's exactly right there.
What did he say?
He said, we gotta take someone on the offensive line. You know, I love all the guys on the offensive line, but I feel like you can't go wrong by adding another stud.
Yeah.
I think he's right there, you know. Whether it be Cameron Flemings, who is an offensive tackle, Nate Soldier, who's an offensive tackle, Josh Sitton, who's a guard, you know. Whether it be one of those guys, I'd be pretty excited for that. So, you know, we'll just have to wait and see what free agency brings us, what Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones will do with cutting players, you know. So, I don't know.
All right. Do you have any more questions for me before I ask you some stuff, or is there anything else you want to say?
Well, who would be your guy to get in free agency?
Ooh. Man, that's kind of tough. I really think, I really like the Demario Davis because linebacker there's not much.
Right.
As for, let me think. As for, I'm trying to think. As for offensive tackle, Cameron Fleming, a good one. I'm trying to think of, like I said, one I suggested was, I suggested this one was Josh Sitton.
What?
That's the one guy, Josh Sitton, the one that the Bears didn't pick up the option on.
Yeah.
That's a guy I suggested. And as for wide receiver, I'm gonna. Some people probably said this, but I just can't think of anything that nobody's come out of the nowhere. But if there's a way the Cowboys can get enough money, I know it's a bunch of ifs and everything else, but maybe you probably won't be able to get both guys, but maybe one of the two, either a Allen Robinson or Sammy Watkins, possibly.
Right. Yeah, I'd be a fan of that, I'd say. So, what's your question?
My questions are, what do you think about the moves that the Eagles and the Giants made today, and the Cowboys not really making any moves with the trade? I know they're limited with the salary cap, but I was like, I don't know what was going on with the Cowboys. I guess they want to keep their players, but to an extent, you've got to make some moves eventually. You can't just. I mean, I know you like to keep free agents like the Packers, but you like to depend so much on the draft. But to an extent, you have to do something in free agency.
Right.
I mean, you can bargain bin shop, but that better work out because if not, you're putting more some dead cap. But I just want your thoughts on the trade today that the Eagles and the Giants made, and then I'll let you know my thoughts on it.
Well, you know what? The Eagles are trying to stay Super Bowl champions, and I don't think it's gonna happen. But you know what? I definitely think that it was a pretty good move. I think that Seattle did on purpose because they traded for a not great pick for, so I think it was a good move for Philly. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but right, I think it was a good move, but, as for the Giants, man, that was a pretty good move. They pretty much got a good steal there, I'd say, but, New York, he's still not going to be in playoff contention next year, so.
I think what the Giants essentially did was they essentially signed Alex Ogletree as a free agent and signed him to that deal essentially. If you get my catch where I'm going with this, because he was essentially on his own expiring deal before the Rams extended him, and then they were like, okay, we're going to trade his contract for some picks. So they essentially signed him like a sign and trade, essentially, if you look at it that way.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, man, I thought they were good moves, and I thought that Alex Ogletree wasn't a guy on the trade box, but I thought maybe the Cowboys, maybe they might look at him. I know they weren't able to get him, but I was hoping maybe they'd look at a linebacker like him, because I know they need a linebacker. But maybe it says something that they can keep Anthony Hitchens, but then again, I'm not sure, because the Colts, until they pick up a linebacker or something, I'm still not as confident we can still keep Anthony Hitchens, especially with the salary cap situation. And I just think the one thing that's going to be interesting that I think everybody's going to be keeping an eye on is, I want to know is what's going to happen to number 88. Are you going to extend him a year and lower the cap? Are you going to release him, or are you going to take a restructure? So,
right.
Well, I don't know what's going to happen. Right. For me, I think if the Cowboys in this situation, it would be best to probably part ways before then, but I understand that number one wide receiver is hard to fill, so I don't know what they're going to do, but that's one of the tough choices they have to make, because he has been on the decline. But
right.
But yeah, I don't know what your thoughts are on about that, and what other cuts you expect or moves the Cowboys can make. But yeah, the Cowboys, they just aren't a team that they just don't make many trades, if any trades at all.
Right.
Besides draft day trades, obviously, for players, they just don't make any trades for veteran players, which kind of shocks me, but I guess that's how they do things there.
Right. Yeah, that's true. You know, if it were me owning the Cowboys, which I wish it would, but you know, can't get everything we wish for. I would personally extend Dez Bryant's contract and give him a small pay cut. So
you'd extend it 1 year and have an avoidable year, basically?
Right, yeah.
Okay, so you wouldn't release him?
No.
You'd basically ask him to take a pay cut or restructure, kind of?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, you know, I just think that if Dez and Dak get some chemistry, well, that could be an explosive combination, like, you know, so... That's about all I have to say. Anything else you want to ask or say?
No. Just thanks for just letting me be on the show. And I know it's just I've been making a lot of videos today, but it's just been for me hard, like, to make videos and know I'm doing well. I mean, I know sometimes the views help, but it's kind of tough for me to deal with the likes and dislikes. But I'm trying my best to kind of ignore it sometimes, you know. But it kind of gives me a guide to know how well I'm doing, though. So it's kind of hard to ignore it, but I just don't know what that means, but I just feel like it means I'm just doing a good job or something.
Right, you know, you're doing a good job. Just keep pushing out the content. It's great content. And just before you leave, tell everybody how they can find you on YouTube and on Instagram.
All right, I'll say everything. On YouTube, my name is Cowboy X Factor. You can search that up on YouTube. Or I haven't tried Google yet, but you could try that. But try the YouTube search bar. I've tried it before. Search that up, and you'll find my YouTube channel, and you can check out the content first. If you like it, please subscribe. And if you like it even more, you can hit the like button on the video and leave a comment below, and I will reply back to you. And I will hit the thumbs up button. I'll love your comment like I do for each and every one of my videos. And then you can find me on Twitter at Cowboy X Factor, and you can find me on Instagram at Cowboy X Factor. And I do try and post there daily, depending on what's going on in the NFL and NBA and other stuff. So if you want to be updated there first, most of the time put the stuff on there first before the videos or it could be on the radio. It just depends. But follow me on both so you can be updated on that. And yeah, that's how you guys can find me on social media, you guys.
So you heard it, guys. Go follow, go subscribe to Cowboy X Factor for for some of the best content I've seen in ever. You know, he's out there every day doing his thing, doing some great work. Keep it up.
All right, and you guys, you do a great job too. And I also do call-in shows as well, like you do. So I'm trying to improve and get better. And yeah.
Right. So you know, he's got some pretty great content. So I suggest you go check him out. Well, thanks for calling in.
Thanks, man, for having me on the show.
No problem. Hey, remember me? I do remember you. Do you still want to hook up? I can't. I just, you know, I'm with my girlfriend, so sorry about that. I'm dating someone, so, you know, sorry about that, guys. So, basically, yeah, I think Dallas should extend Dez Bryant's contract, you know, just to bring up or give us a little bit more cap room. I definitely think that could help. Well, someone just called in, so let me call you back and hope I get the right number. Oh, well, he's just calling. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, DCT? It's DCF.
Oh, how you doing, man?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, you know. I can't complain, you know. Life's pretty good, and the Cowboys just released Benson Mayowa to save around $2.75 million in the cap room. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, me too. I think it was a pretty good move because we needed the cap to re-sign some players. I mean, we have a lot of depth at that position, but assuming the fact or the rumor that we're going to release Tyron Crawford, it's a good move. And then we have Taco and obviously D-Law, and then we might draft defensive end possibly, but I think it was a really good move to save some cap.
I do too. I mean, you know, if now on the chopping block is Bryce Butler, Tyrone Crawford, and Orlando Scandrick. Alfred Morris also is on there. As much as I like Alfred Morris, we need the cap room to sign my guy, Demario Davis. Now, I don't know how...
DCT, can I ask you a question real quick?
You sure can.
So, I mean, I watched a couple of films on Demario Davis. He's pretty capable. If we do sign him, if Dallas gets his attention, what deal would you give him? If so, how many years and the salary?
Well, I'd give him a mediocre contract, so not a whole lot and not a whole little. I'd say I'd give him a 4-year contract, alright, on $4 million a year, alright?
I can go with that, yeah.
So, I said 4-year contract with $4 million a year, so, you know, that's not that bad.
Yeah, I think we can do that. We also have Justin Marks Lillard at MLB. Demario Davis could sure help us there. If we get those two studs, if we get Justin Marks Lillard to improve in off season, and if we can somehow be a miracle if we got Demario Davis, to me, I think we would have a couple studs at the linebacker position, especially the middle linebacker position.
Right, hold on. Cowboy X Factor, how much longer will the call-in be? Right now it is 8:27 for me, so I'll probably go about another 10 minutes or so. I'm not exactly sure, though. You know, I say 10 minutes, turns into an hour, so I don't know. So, what? What do you, what were you talking about there?
I said that we had a couple studs at the linebacker position.
Yep, we do. You know, I think Sean Lee being one of them. And, okay, if I'm not back, goodbye, and I will see you next time. See you later, Cowboy X Factor. Sean Lee being one of them, Jalen Smith being another, and Justin March Lillard being the other one. You know, I think Justin March Lillard is pretty underrated. You know, there's definitely room for improvement for everybody, not just him. But, you know, you live, you learn. So I definitely think Dallas, Justin March Lillard, I definitely think you should definitely be a big role this year, especially probably without Anthony Hitchens. So.
Yeah, DCT, did you hear about Bryce Butler liking a comment on Instagram?
I was actually talking about that, I'd say about 15 minutes ago or so, something around there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, about New York.
He's definitely gone after doing that. I mean, what he already said and did,
yeah.
That's enough to, cut him. He said, earlier, he said he was better than Dez. He deserves a starting role, and I think you know what he said. I mean, he should be gone. And I hope whatever team he goes to next year, I hope our cornerback shuts him down.
If he does go to New York, I hope, yeah, I'm praying something for Philly. I hope Malcolm Jenkins will shut him down. Malcolm Jenkins will shut him down and shut him up. And if he doesn't leave, well, I just feel like calling Jerry up and saying, cut Bryce Butler. Come on, man. As much as I think he could do good, he hasn't proven he's loyal to his team. Where Dez Bryant has said, I'll do anything to help this team. Where Bryce Butler said, liked a comment saying that, hey, you should come to New York where just to shit all over Dallas for not starting you and stuff like that. So, Dez Bryant, compare those two answers. Who's more loyal to their team? Dez or Bryce Butler? Who do you think?
I mean, definitely Dez. Dez has been with us since 2011. Bryce just came here, and Bryce has been off and on ever since he came here, off the field problems. Dez, he's just always been loyal. He's willing to do whatever Jerry Jones asks him to do. Now, Bryce Butler is the total opposite of that. He's unloyal. He won't do anything you ask him, and he's problems off the field.
Right. Yep, I agree. So, I will ask you a couple questions, but I just want to ask you, do you have any questions to ask me and to ask all Cowboy Nation out there?
Yeah, I do. How do you feel about the Eagles landing Michael Bennett?
Well, I'm not a big fan of Bennett, but you know what? Whatever. They're trying to make their team better and become two-time Super Bowl champion, yeah. Not 5, not 4, not 3, not even 2. They only have 1. But you know what? I'm in no place to talk considering we haven't won since the 90s. So, you know, they're just trying to make their team better. Whatever works for them, whatever works out best for them. So, you know.
Yeah, it really hurts me to say it, but I think this was a great move for Philly. This is coming from a Cowboys fan. I mean, all they gave up was a practice squad player and a 7th-round pick, and they got a 3-time Pro Bowler. I mean, it hurts me to say it, but I think that was a really good move for Philly, don't you, DCT?
Yeah, I guess, and I guess not. I mean, Michael Bennett, I forget how old he is, but I've never
32.
been... What?
He's 32, I believe.
Oh, well then, that made me think, wow, that was a pretty good move that was an okay move considering he's 32, so he's starting to get up there in age. So, you know, he's good, but I just don't know how long or how much longer he'll be good because by the Super Bowl next year, he'll be around 33 or something around there. So, just something to keep in mind. He's good though, but I just don't think Seattle or Philly will be as good with next year. You know.
I can agree there.
I definitely think they'll be good in a playoff, and definitely in the playoffs. I don't see them though going to the Super Bowl. I think this year they just got lucky, just because of that Minneapolis Miracle is exactly how they made it to the Super Bowl. Because let me tell you, if the Saints went on to play them, they wouldn't be in the Super Bowl. And if the Jags did beat the Patriots, they wouldn't have won the Super Bowl. So.
Yeah, I agree.
So, here's my question. How do you think we can clear up some cap room?
I think we can cut a couple of players, like, I'm going to name 5 players: Byron Bell, Chaz Green, Orlando Scandrick. As much as I love Orlando, I mean, he's getting old in age. He's taking up a couple million in cap, and I mean, we can't really have him anymore. Tyron Crawford, we're going to have to let Anthony Hitchens walk.
Yeah.
Because we can't afford him, and that's only a couple of the players I can think of off of my mind. And we need to restructure some contracts. Try and get Dez to take a pay cut. Try. But if he's not, whatever. And then we need to restructure, like, Tyron Smith's contract. He's taking up a lot.
Yeah.
And we need to restructure a couple other contracts. But another goal that we need to try and progress to is signing Zach Martin to a long-term deal, because he's only under contract until the end of next season, and we cannot afford to franchise tag him like we did to D-Law. So we need to send him to a long-term deal, and yeah, that's what I have to say.
I agree there. Someone said that we need Anthony Hitchens. Well, here's my thing. As much as it would cost us for him, as much as I love that guy, I think we almost, you know what, he's great, you know, as much as I wish we could keep him, and we might be able to if we cut enough people, but you know what, I definitely would almost say Demario Davis would be my guy over Anthony Hitchens. But you know what? If we could find a way to get Demario Davis and keep Anthony Hitchens, defenses better be ready for that, because that would definitely be scary. So, you know. Yeah. What do you think about that?
I definitely agree with you. If we had Demario Davis just in general by himself, I mean, I think he's really underrated. He's an underrated stud. The Jets didn't play him at all. I think they played him a little bit, but he didn't have, like, regular minutes. He was switching out with a couple of other linebackers from New York. I mean, here in Dallas, I mean, when we try and sign, well, if we even try and sign him to a contract, we should say that he would probably get the starting role over Justin Marshall, just because he doesn't have as much experience as Demario Davis. But, I mean, they'd probably still get the same amount of playing time. That's what I have to say. And, I mean, Justin Marshall and Demario Davis, just imagine that, 2 studs at linebacker.
Yeah, I'd be afraid of our defense, especially if we get some help in the draft. Well, thanks for calling in. It was great talking to you. The video that we did will be up in, I'd say, about 2.5 hours after this. You know, it's a long video, 17 minutes, but it's a good video. I suggest you guys watch it. But it just takes a long time for it to upload, so, you know.
Alright, thanks for having me, DCT. Although I have one more question for you.
Go ahead.
What do you think about the Seahawks saying that they are probably going to get rid of Richard Sherman?
Go after him. Go after him. All right, as much as I'm not a huge fan of him, he's good if we have enough cap room. Hands down, I'd be all for it.
Yep, alright, thanks for having me, DCT. I enjoyed talking to you.
No problem. I'm glad you joined in.
Thanks, alright, see you.
See you later. So, guys, that was my boy DCF. Go follow him on Instagram at Dallas_Cowboys_fanbase for cowboy content. And I guess that puts an end to this live stream. It's starting to get late. I enjoyed talking to you guys, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.